Good afternoon, everyone. This is Allie Masarno, Senior Association Manager of the International Slurry Servicing Association. We want to thank you all for joining us today for the Young Leaders Team webinar on the ISSA website. The purpose of this webinar is to provide a general overview of slurry.org to increase awareness of what ISSA's website has to offer. After this webinar, we encourage you to take a closer look at all the resources and opportunities that are provided through the various sections of ISSA's website. If you have any questions while we're going through the webinar, please use the chat function that is located on the left side of your screen. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce Joe Brandenburg and Jamie Wing. Joe Brandenburg is an account manager for the Asphalt Application Surface Chemistry at Nurion. He graduated from the University of Cincinnati with a degree in environmental science. Shortly after graduating, he landed a job as a lab technician at an asphalt plant. From there, he has spent the last 19 years involved in the research and development, manufacturing, and application of emulsified asphalts. Jamie Wing is a lab manager for the pavement preservation segment of the pavement technologies business at Ingevity. She graduated from Florida State University with a biology degree. After working in biology and chemistry labs, she decided to obtain a teaching degree. Jamie taught science to 6th through 9th graders for 11 years before joining Ingevity in January of 2011. Before we begin, I just want to ask Joe and Jamie what their favorite thing is about the industry. Joe?
All right, thanks, Allie. My favorite thing about the industry certainly is the people, but I kind of have to go back to my very first ISSA workshop, and that was back in 2003. And I was still relatively new to the industry, kind of stuck in the lab. And, I came to Vegas, with all the lights and everything else, and I was kind of blown away by everything. And then, here I am attending this workshop, and it was like my first meeting ever of this magnitude. And it just blew me away. I was so gravitated to all the presentations and to all the folks that I met. And, the demonstration day and the lab tables, and really, for me, at that time, I wasn't sure if I was going to stay in the industry, if I would, try some other industry, that was more related to my degree. But after attending the ISSA workshop in 2003, it made me want to have this as my career. And so the ISSA workshop and the association is very important to me, and really kind of what thrusts me into making this an actual career. That's been very good for me. So, yep.
Okay, my favorite thing about this industry is certainly the people. I'm excited about this Young Leaders Team because more people are becoming involved in the industry through ISSA. So with that, I'd like to start the webinar. I'm going to first navigate you through the home page. The banner at the top where my cursor is, it rotates through various pictures and announcements, and I'd like to point out that there are links within some of these pictures that will direct you to either a specific location on this website or another website. Okay? And if you scrolling down, you have some icons underneath the banner. Ask an Expert is a tool that allows you to ask technical questions. There's a team of experienced ISSA members that will respond to your question, usually in 24 to 48 hours. So if this function is something that you think will be advantage to you, you just click on either Ask an Expert or Submit a Question, and it will take you to the page where you submit your name, email address, company name, and question. All right, the publication store is where you can purchase reference documents such as the inspector's manual. Join ISSA is a shortcut to the membership section within this website, and I'll go through that section in more detail in just a little bit. Find an ISSA member enables you to search for companies that are ISSA, that are members of ISSA. And then beneath that, you have these 4 icons the slurry microsurfacing, chip seal, and crack treatment icons. They provide an overview of each application. All right, please be aware that there's the latest news and a calendar of events near the bottom. There are a couple of job stories that are highlighted at the very bottom of this page. So whenever you're navigating the website at any time and you want to return to the home page, just simply click on the ISSA logo in the top left corner to return to the home page. And I know that I am doing a very high-level overview. Like Allie said, we are hopeful that you will, at the end of this webinar, come back and dig deeper into all the things that are offered. All right, Joe, you want to go through About Us?
I sure do. And before I start, I have to admit I'm a little ashamed of myself. For as long as I've been a member of ISSA, I haven't really spent much time within the website, and preparing for this webinar has forced me to spend time in this website, and I didn't realize how much was in here, like the resources, what's available. It's quite astounding, the amount of information on here. Okay, so first I'll cover the mission. And if you click that, yep. So the mission, the International Surfacing Association is a leading resource for promotion, training, education, and best practices of our pavement preservation technologies. Now, within this mission, there are 4 key strategies. And, here, the first strategy, to be the industry leader for technical and educational support. Develop specifications that, when followed, will consistently result in durable, long-lasting treatments. Improve best practices to correct negative perception of our processes. And last but not least is to grow the ISSA membership and increase participation in ISSA. Now, this last strategy directly aligns with our Young Leader Team mission. And, as we, hopefully grow the association, we want to grow it not for the sake of the association, but really for the sake of the industry, because we are up against a lot of challenges, within our industry, and providing the best resources that we can for our members, and training them the best that we can, to follow best practices, and to understand that their jobs do matter. The impact that they have is very critical, and quite frankly, at the end of the day, the treatments that we place on the road, that's what keeps the traveling public safe. Yeah, it looks nice, it's pretty, but the reality of it is what we put down keeps the people safe, the traveling public. Okay, so next on to board and governance. So this is part of the website where you can kind of put a name with the face. Here you'll see a picture of the 2019 and 20 board of directors. I would encourage you to reach out to all these gentlemen. They are all very nice. They are all very easy to talk to. The thing that I know about each one of these gentlemen is that they are very willing to help out in any way. And I don't think we could have asked for a better board of directors. The president, the vice president, all the way down to the past president. Some great guys, very knowledgeable, and if you're new to the industry and you don't know them, find them out and talk to them. Fantastic folks to talk to. This page also lists the committees, and as you become more involved within ISSA, I would encourage you to look at these committees and look at who's the chair, if you want to be on a certain committee, talk to that chairperson or talk to the co-chair. That's one of the biggest impacts that you can have, I think, as an employee for your employer is to be involved in committees and to help out the association to do a better job, in education and in promoting, what we're about, and promoting what we call like the slurry systems, which is like slurry seal, microsurfacing, chip seal, and crack fill treatments. All right. So next we will go to the bylaws.
Hey, Joe, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah.
Let's please point out that we have a new young leaders team off of board and governance. That's where do you want to point that out now, or are you going to do that?
Yeah, go ahead and click the yes. Sorry about that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we just if you could, we decided that it might be more beneficial. So instead of just listing our committee and our co-chairs, if you click on the young leaders team here, there's a page. This is where we're going to post, this is where our mission is located, and where we're going to post activities and events. We also have our, Joe and I as co-chairs and all the members that attended last year's event during the workshop. We intend after the event in 2020 to beef up this page and post webinars and pictures and different things. So we definitely wanted to point this out to all of our young leader team members. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that, Jamie. Yeah, I'm glad you're.
No problem.
I'm glad that you were on call with me. So next are the bylaws of Vista. Now, I'm not going to cover all of these, certainly. And there are 10 articles within the bylaws of Vista. I do want to point out 3 in particular. Article 1, which is which are the purposes, and if you look at purposes A through D, this is really kind of what ISTA is all about. Is to provide opportunities for dialogue, education, advancement, and improvement of all aspects of the emulsified asphalt, slurry seal, microsurfacing, asphalt-based chip, and asphalt-based crack treatment industry through meetings, seminars, communications, publications, and other programs and activities. Articulating and advocating the needs and the interests, to cooperate on behalf, of the slurry seal, microsurfacing, asphalt-based chip seal, asphalt-based crack treatments, with the suppliers, distributors, dealers, insurers, and customers directly through with their association in matters involving the business and governmental affairs of the industry, and to take the policies and conduct the activities for the betterment of all individuals or firms involved in some aspect of this industry. So this is a very dynamic industry, I believe, and this association definitely is a great advocate for what we do on a daily basis. Our next article is the membership. Now, there are 2 types of membership, either voting or non-voting, and depending on your employer, it'll kind of dictate whether or not you are a voting member or a non-voting member. And then if you can kind of look through that and see where do I fall in, and if you don't know, I'd ask whoever at your company. I'm sure they'll be able to tell you. And next is Article 8, Antitrust Compliance. I picked this one out because I think it's very important to understand what is antitrust compliance. And I'm not a lawyer, obviously, and I'm not going to begin to try to explain what this is, because it should come from your HR professional at your place of employment. But the thing that I do want to bring up is that, we have these policies in place to protect you, to protect your employer, and also to protect the association. So I would definitely recommend that you, look through these. And Jamie, if you can scroll down just for a bit, Section B, where, it's, go up a little bit, right there. Yeah, where it says all association activities or discussions shall be avoided which might be constructed as tending to, and then raise, lower, or stabilize prices, regulate production, allocate markets, encouraging boycotts, foster unfair trade practices, and assist in the monopolization or in any way violate federal, state, or applicable international trade regulations and antitrust laws. So I know that the board of directors takes this very seriously. So do the members. So just be aware that this, again, is here to protect you, protect your employer, and to also protect the association. All right. So next are the policies. The first policy that pops up, policy on antitrust activities. So again, this is a very important thing to keep in mind, and to again, if you don't know what this is, or if you want more information, you talk to your HR rep. As Jamie begins to scroll down the page, you can begin to see the duties of the ISA, president, the vice president, and
sorry, y'all. I got a little whoops. Sorry, I really scrolled through fast. My fault. Okay.
You can blame the mouse. It's all right. So and it depends on how much you want to spend on this particular page. But as you can see, there's a lot of details on here. A lot of information as far as the duty, how do we elect the board of directors, policies of conduct, also the committees. We have, so it's just a lot of legal stuff, but there's a lot of good stuff on here as well. So if you want to, have a good read, have at it, right? Yeah. All right. So next would be the awards. And so this was first started, I believe, in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the ISSA President's Award for Excellence. And I would say that this award is something special to be won. And and really it was established to recognize those contracting achievements that exemplify the International Slurry Surfacing Association, the highest quality, the workmanship, and the best standards for practice. And the reason why we highlight these is because we want to prove and show that, hey, if you do these treatments at the right time, at the right place, they will succeed, and they will provide what we say they're going to provide, and even more. So that's the whole reason why we have this association. I believe is to further best practices and understand that quality is so important. And as we and you can review the past awards for excellence if you like. And I think that they're still taking applications for the 2020 award. Maybe not. Maybe that's already been passed. I don't know. But if there's a particular job site or project that you're aware of that you feel that meets the criteria within ISA, by all means, please nominate the contractor and supplier and and whoever the customer. That'd be fantastic. So next we have the honorary members, and so this is just a page to honor past members. Some unfortunately are deceased, but I think these are key people who have been integral to this association, and it's just kind of cool to see. these people and to realize, that, at some point in their lives while they are employed with this particular company, they had a huge impact, on this association in our industry. So it's just a nice page, or it's just a nice page just to look at. So last is the News and Press Archives. Again, I'm a bit ashamed. I didn't realize this was here until a few months ago, as Jamie and I were preparing for this. And again, there's just so much information on here that you can look at, download, read, review. So just be aware that this is here, and it's just a great resource. And if you could scroll down, Jamie, I believe it started in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. 12, darn it, 11. Oh, keep on going. 2008. Oh, geez, see. So this goes back to 2008, and the one thing that you'll notice next year is that the 2019 articles will be in the press archive will appear. So I think it happens sometime after the workshop. So so once this year is finished and we start 2020, then you'll see a section where we have the 2019 News and Press Archives. So, okay, back to Jimmy.
All right. So I'd like to talk to you about membership. There is a very nice outline here of all the benefits of being an ISSA member. This, again, aligns with our Young Leaders Team mission. And as it's outlined here on this page, as an ISSA member, you will receive various news feeds, such as the ISSA Surfacing Today e-brief, our annual workshop, which Joe spoke about at the beginning of this webinar, is very unique compared to other industry events because there are a lot of hands-on sessions and field demonstrations that are provided, and there are a multitude of training courses and recommended websites that are offered to you as an ISSA member. Not to mention the value of being connected to others in the industry. There are additional opportunities for you and your company to contribute and or participate in publications and committees. And as a member, you work more closely with others in the industry to reiterate what Joe said, to promote pavement preservation and educate others on the benefits of these systems. So I think I've if you are not a member or know someone that is not, they can come here and click on this link to join. There are several of you that I'd like to click on this because it's been pointed out to us that there may be some of you that work for a company that's a member, but you are not aware of your login information. So as stated at the top of this page, if you register as an employee of an existing company member, that will help you access this site as a member. So if you need assistance with that, we'll be welcome to help you. You'll reach out to one of us. If your company is not currently a member, I'd like to encourage you to share information regarding ISSA with others in your organization. We sincerely appreciate your interest in becoming more involved, especially those of you that have joined the Young Leaders Team as of last year. And we hope that you will benefit from this, because I can promise you ISSA is. We have more participants for next year's workshop because of the Young Leaders Team. So, and lastly, at the bottom of this page, I'd like to point out that there is also a government membership, because we, of course, would like to get Department of Transportation employees on board and attending the workshop as well. All right, so we'll move on to education and resources. Joe, you want to get started on the industry training courses?
Sure do. Okay, so as you can kind of see here, and if you can scroll down just a hair, there are two videos one is the chip seal best practices, and the second is the crack seal best practices. And these were filmed, I believe, at last year's, this year's, so we're this year's past workshop. And I think they're about 45 minutes apiece and some change. One of the things that I can relate to in my career when I first started is I didn't have a chance to go out and really see a whole lot. I didn't leave the lab, it didn't seem like for a while. So I was just trying to figure out, like, why am I doing this, or why am I running this emulsibility, or why do I have to run the sweep test, or who cares about this mix design? It didn't make sense to me. But if you are not able to visit job sites because you're just so busy, or just because of the time of year, there's a lot of great resources here on this page as far as how to apply these materials. Whether it's through the top videos, going to roadresource.org, you're looking at those webinars. We have right in front of you, you have the ISSA web-based training, and these are phenomenal. We have the four trainings here, 4 web-based trainings on slurry, microsurfacing, chip seal, and crack treatments. I know that the folks that put these on and spent time, they spent so many hours developing these web-based trainings. There's so many people that went into it, super smart folks. A lot of resources went into these web-based trainings, and I would highly recommend anyone, whether you are brand new to the industry or whether you are a veteran, is to go through these web-based trainings, because there's just things that if you're an old timer like me, you just forget, or if you want to learn something new about a certain treatment, hey, go to these web-based trainings, and I believe they're free, as long as you're a member, and definitely worth the time. It's well spent. And there's also other trainings down below. We have the our ARTBA, which is the American Road and Transportation Builders Association. You have the National Highway Institute. And then last is the NCPP, which is the National Center for Pavement Preservation. Again, all of these industries, training courses will only benefit you, depending on your time and your schedule. Again, I would highly recommend that you invest in it and make it worthwhile. The thing about these trainings is that they will only make you better, or they will only make you better, and they will only make you more knowledgeable, which really in turn makes your job easier. The more you know about what you're doing, about your career, the better off you are. The better decisions that you can make, and just to become a better employee, for your employer. So again, I would take the time, dive into this stuff. The one thing I did forget to mention is that we don't have a microsurfacing slurry video yet. The one that was taken this past workshop didn't turn out so good, so we're going to try to film one this coming January in 2020, and then that will go on the website. So anyway, again, great resource. I encourage you to spend time on this page.
Okay. Next is the Guidelines and Technical Bulletin. And this is where you can find the most current guidelines for slurry seal, microsurfacing, chip seal, and crack treatments. A115 is the newest edition, and it focuses on polymer-modified slurry seal, and this will be discussed more during the workshop in January. This is also where you can find the latest versions of all of the technical bulletins. And there is a team, there is a committee of people that are reviewing these and will continue to make updates on these, and this is where you'll find the most updated version. All right, they're also at the bottom, and there's a construction checklist for each application. All right, that's that. And then the next section is Spanish translated guidelines. So similar to what we just looked at, please be aware that there are Spanish versions. I will tell you that they are currently being updated to align with the latest versions of each document. So if you need one sooner than it's ready, please feel free to reach out to someone, but they are in process of being updated. Then the next section is affiliated associations.
So if you look on this page, there are 5 affiliated associations. We have EMA, which is the Asphalt Emulsion Manufacturers Association. Next is the Asphalt Institute. Below that would be ARA, which is the Asphalt Recycling and Reclaiming Association, followed by the IBEF, which is the International Bitumen Emulsions Federation. And last but not least is NCPP, the National Center for Paper Preservation. So the cool thing about being aligned with these other associations is that we're kind of able to work together for the betterment of our industry, and our goals align with these other associations, and I believe our missions as well align with these associations. So depending on what you are interested in and what your company is involved in, I'd recommend that if you're able to, also be involved in these associations as well, just because it's important. It's important on so many levels. And I believe if you scroll down, there's also the hey, Jamie, can you scroll down real quick?
You want to stay on the same page, or okay?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Now?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go to the next tab. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Jamie and I were kind of laughing about this page because we didn't realize how long it was, and then if you continue to scroll down, you can click on these other links. Say for example, like the industry magazines, Federal Highway Administration, trade shows, Homeland Security, I guess if you're not feeling secure, and others. So again, this is just a great place to find all these links to all these different whether associations, industry magazines, links to Federal Highway, to trade shows. So again, I can't say it enough how important it is to spend time on this website and to really learn it and to take what's there and use it to your advantage. Again, just take time and review it.
Okay.
And one last thing real quick. I think the industry magazines, if you click on that link, I believe some of these magazines, I don't know for all of them, but if I'm not mistaken, you can sign up to have those magazines when they're published go directly to your email. And I know there are others. I think there's others out there, but certainly it's a great resource, and I take advantage of it if I were you. Okay,
thank you. So we move on to job stories along the top. Job stories and video resources are highlighted in this section, and these videos are posted from ISSA events. So that's where this material comes from ISSA events. There is an opportunity, if you were to go down to the next tab here, if you or someone in your company has a general news story or article that you would like to post in this section, please submit your entry by selecting this tab titled Job Success story submission form if you would like to submit a video or a job story to be posted on this website. All right, and the last tab across the top is members only. And as it indicates, members can access this information. The first page describes the mission, the strategies, and the goals for a 3-year time period. The board meets 3 times a year, and they continually review these goals, but these goals stay in place for a 3-year time period. The ISSA marketing materials are available in this section, but they can also be ordered from the publication store that I pointed out on the home page. Papers and presentations. This is where you can find presentation information from prior ISSA meetings. Only members can access this information. So as you can see, for example, 2019 Slurry Systems Workshop has all of the presentations that were covered during that workshop. You can access them and use that information as a reference. ASTM Spec Builder, it's typically used by the technical committees and as an access point. It's not commonly used for general use, but it is here. And then advertising opportunities is something that is certainly available, and there are advertising opportunities that are included on each e-brief and in every newsletter. Okay. So with that, we've generally navigated through the entirety of the website. And as I said, if you ever want to return to the home page, just click on the ISSA logo in the top left corner. And I'm going to turn it over to Allie and see if there are any questions that were submitted that we can answer with the time remaining.
We do not have any questions as of yet, but if you guys have any questions now, again, please submit them in the chat function on the left-hand side of your screen, and we will wait a few minutes to see if anything comes in.
Okay, as we, I guess we're about to wrap up, the one thing that we are going to have is 4 more webinars next year. And I think our first webinar topic is going to be a wrap-up of the ISO workshop from the 2020 venue that we're going to have. And then from there we'll have others. So just be aware that those are coming, and those will be advertised. That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. I think, pointing back to the home page, as I mentioned, there are these icons that overview the different pavement preservation treatments, slurry, micro, chip seal, and crack treatments. And Joe and I are thinking about the idea for these future webinars to have someone that has presented at ISSA or has a lot of experience in the industry on each of those applications to lead a webinar. So that's our idea, and hopefully it will work out. I think it would be very valuable.
Agreed.
Anybody have any questions?
I did not see any questions come through.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We certainly appreciate your time.
Yep, thanks so much.